Hello everybody, and thank you for clicking on the video. I wanted to take some time to talk about revolvers. I'm a young guy. A lot of people kind of look at me and go, oh, he doesn't like revolvers. Well, the truth of the matter is I actually do like revolvers, and I think they have a lot of advantages over even modern semi-automatics at times. For instance, they can usually and are usually in higher, more hard-hitting calibers. Your most powerful handguns, they're not semi-automatics. They're revolvers. If you hunt with revolvers or something like that, that's a big deal. Also, interchangeability of calibers and cartridges, which I'll talk about here in a second, as well as what I call load and leave. That is, I don't particularly like the idea of leaving a magazine loaded for a prolonged period of time. If you are staging something around your house, in a barn, in a tractor, or something like that, because I know quite a few people who do that, who load a pistol and leave it in the tractor in case they see something that they need to defend themselves against. Revolvers, there's no springs being worn or anything like that. It can stay loaded virtually indefinitely and still work. But I want to talk specifically today on their advantages as a training aid for teaching new shooters. Now, got something stuck on my thumb there. The bang for your buck as a training aid, if you are teaching your kids, your grandkids, or just new people to marksmanship skills with a handgun, is almost immeasurable. It's really, really helpful. I have two guns in front of me. One is a Ruger single 6. You get 3 in this particular one. You get 3 different cartridges that you can teach people on. It is currently set up for the 22 short and the 22 long rifle. Now, starting somebody out on a 22 short, this is a fairly substantial gun with a nice trigger pull and great sights. And in 22 short, it makes very little sound. So the sound report is not going to scare a young shooter or somebody who is sound sensitive. Sound sensitive has no age limit. Then, once they get used to the idea, you can step them up to the 22 long rifle. Start shooting. It's just a little bit more noisy, but it doesn't really have any more recoil. After that, you push this button in, open up the loading gate, and you could swap in a 22 Magnum that quick. Now, 22 Magnum has a little bit more recoil, a lot more sound. So it'll help get them over the sound does not equate to recoil. After that, you can move them on to something more substantial, even a semi-automatic in 22, if you want to teach them the battery of arms there. Or, staying with revolvers, you could step them up to a 9mm. Now, this is a Ruger Blackhawk, and it's currently set up for 357 Magnum and 38 Special. And this particular one, and you can get these, and I think this is one of the coolest things, is now it's 9mm Luger. So now I have a 9mm Luger, which is a inexpensive round to practice with, not a lot of recoil and not a lot of sound, and you can get them on that and slowly step them up to, just like I did before, take the cylinder out, put in clumsily, if you're me anyway. Sometimes my fingers don't work the way they're supposed to. A 38, and then you could step them up to a 357 Magnum. At that point, they're pretty much ready for anything. Now, that 357 Magnum in a full-size gun like this is potent, but the sound is, the flash is, and they're going to be a whole lot less afraid of big, noisy guns. And you can start teaching them on pretty much wherever they want to go or you want to go from there. So as usual, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Have a nice day.